Hello and welcome to today's video. If you are new here, hello, my name is Rachel and I run my own houseplant business here in Auckland, New Zealand, and we sell houseplants and houseplant related supplies. Make sure to check us out, www.growinggreen.nz, and this is our YouTube channel where we make videos all about houseplants and those houseplant related supplies and a little bit of behind the scenes content of the business as well. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in, make sure to consider subscribing down below, and if you do like this video, make sure to click the thumbs up button at the end so we know what kind of content you guys like to see. So today's video, as you already know, is all about the Phalaenopsis orchid. Now I wouldn't call myself an expert by any means on growing Phalaenopsis orchids, but as you can see by these two, I consider myself fairly confident, and I would love to share you all the information that I have learned and know about these guys to help you grow the best Phalaenopsis you possibly can as well. So we're going to be talking all about the Phalaenopsis orchid, how to pick your orchid from the store, their growth cycle, how to get them to reflower, how to repot them, what to do when your orchid finishes flowering, and everything in between. So if that sounds like something that you need help with, make sure to stick around. I'd love to help you out. I'll also be showing you a few of the Phalaenopsis that I personally own throughout this video as well. So yeah, let's just get straight on into the video. So the Phalaenopsis orchid is also known as the moth orchid, and it is the single most gifted houseplant in the entire world. They're a super popular gift for so many occasions, birthdays, anniversaries, etc, etc, but a lot of people do struggle with what to do with them after it's finished flowering, so that's what this video is all about. So Phalaenopsis orchids are generally characterized by their large flat leaves and their long-lasting flat-faced flowers. So these larger style Phalaenopsis are generally the most popular and most well-known Phalaenopsis, and you'll find them generally in your big box stores, or like we like to call them, hardware stores such as Mitre 10, Bunnings, and a lot of florists as well. Oh, and also some supermarkets too. But as you can see on this side, you can also get much smaller varieties. They're often called mini varieties, and these also do come in these same shops as well. But aside from these two, there are so many different types of Phalaenopsis that people don't even realize are actually Phalaenopsis. I'm going to just show you a really quick montage of some Phalaenopsis that I have filmed at recent orchid shows in my local area, just so you can really see how diverse the Phalaenopsis orchids are. So as you can see, they come in all different shapes and sizes. Some have spots, some are plain colored, some are even variegated. There is such a wide range of Phalaenopsis out there that a lot of people don't even realize beyond the normal big box store Phalaenopsis. Over the years, there seems to have been this rumor going around that Phalaenopsis orchids are hard to care for, that they're fussy, they don't like anything you do with them, and that once the blooms die, the plant is dead too, which is absolutely not the case, and I'm here to dispel all of those rumors today. I cringe when I see people throwing away their Phalaenopsis orchids as soon as it's finished flowering because they think the whole plant is dead, or they just can't be bothered looking after it. But hopefully by the end of this video and part 2 in this series, I can help you be a little bit more confident with your Phalaenopsis and you won't be throwing them away anymore. So before we get into the nitty-gritty of Phalaenopsis orchid care, I'm going to start by talking to you about their growth cycle, and hopefully this will help you understand a little bit more about how Phalaenopsis orchids work and what stage they should be at and when, and hopefully this will help you gain a little bit more confidence when it comes to your Phalaenopsis. When you first bring your orchid home from the store, it will be in full bloom like this, or partially in bloom where just a couple of the blooms are open and the rest are still buds. Normally these blooms can last anywhere between 2 to 6 months. Now this will all depend of course on the conditions that you are keeping them in and how long it has been in bloom before you've purchased the orchid. Generally if there are only 1 or 2 flowers open, then you're pretty much good to go for a few months, but if the full spike is in bloom, it might not last quite as long. And then after a wee while you will start to notice that the flowers might start to shrivel up and die and drop off. Now this does not mean that your orchid is dying. I repeat, it does not mean that your orchid is dying. This is part of its natural life cycle, and the blooms will not last forever. And this is also the point that a lot of people start to give up on their orchids and start to give them away or try and sell them off. Once the flowers have fallen off and the spike is looking very bare, the plant will start to enter its growth phase. And in this phase, it will start focusing on growing new leaves to, of course, help feed next year's blooming. And during this growth phase, they will start to grow leaves. Generally, they will grow between 1 to 2 leaves per growing season, and then when the time is right again, it will, of course, rebloom. Now, Phalaenopsis orchids specifically can rebloom up to twice a year, sometimes 3 times if you're very, very lucky or you get sequential blooming on the same spike. But a lot of the times it will just be the 1 to 2 blooms per year. Now, I know for a lot of houseplant people that this can be rather irritating, because I know we like a lot of instant gratification. I know I do personally, like with seeing new leaves coming all the time, but trust me, once you have been patient enough to bloom your first orchid, you will never go back. It is so satisfying. So you've finally decided to pick yourself up a Phalaenopsis. Congratulations, you're about to have so much fun with these, but you're not 100% sure on what a healthy Phalaenopsis looks like and what you should look out for when picking one out from the store, aside from the beautiful color range. First things first, it's pretty much self-explanatory. If the plant looks happy, it probably is happy. A lot of signs of bad Phalaenopsis are really obvious, and I'm going to tell you all about them. So the first thing you need to do, obviously, is to pick a color that you love. The second thing you should do is to take it out of the cover pot. Most orchids that come in big box stores or hardware stores do come in some kind of cover pot like this. This is just a cheapo plastic one. So the first thing to do is to take it out. And once you have taken it out of its pot, take a very good look at its root system. Healthy orchid roots look exactly like this. They're thick, they're chunky. They can either be silver or green looking. The green looking roots means that it's just recently been watered, and the silver looking roots means that it is a little bit dry and needs water. But we'll get more into those kind of tips a little bit later on. As long as the roots are thick and healthy and chunky, then you will have a healthy plant. Also, don't worry about these roots coming out the top of the pot. That is perfectly fine and normal. They're called aerial roots. Again, we'll get into them a little bit later on, but those are totally fine. Don't worry about those at all. If you see any kinds of root rot, such as black, mushy roots, do not purchase the orchid, because as a beginner you probably don't have the skills to bring an orchid like that back to life, so you want one that will give you the best start possible. The second thing that you need to take a look at are its leaves. Healthy orchid leaves are normally slightly dark green in color. They will be shiny and thick and juicy, and by thick and juicy I mean if you give them a... oh, not like that. And by thick and juicy, I mean if you give them a very gentle squeeze, and by gentle squeeze I mean a very gentle squeeze, you will feel that they are nice and firm. A couple of things to look out for that are red flags when purchasing orchids are overly wrinkly leaves. Now, the leaves will be wrinkly naturally a little bit. That is just because when they get dehydrated, the leaves will wrinkle up. But if it is really extremely wrinkly, then avoid at all costs, because sometimes orchids can be very hard to bring back to life once they've been extremely dehydrated. Also, look out for things such as black spots or any kind of powdery film on them. This could suggest some kind of fungal issue, and you don't want that either. And same with your normal houseplants, check for pests. Don't be scared to inspect the crap out of your orchid in the store. Lift up all the leaves, take a look in the crown, make sure there are no pests on it, because obviously that's bad for your plant and the rest of your plants at home as well. Now, once you have your orchid and you have brought it home, all you need to do is pop it in a location that has bright filtered light and leave it be. Phalaenopsis are so easy to care for. As long as you just water them every now and then, they will be perfectly fine in your average home conditions. As you can see, this one behind me just sits next to my television and is extremely happy among all of my other houseplants. And same with this one here. This is one of my summer blooming Phalaenopsis, and it's really happy where it is too. So I thought I would quickly show you my absolute favorite Phalaenopsis of all time at the moment, and that is this extremely beautiful long white Phalaenopsis. So this is the size of the normal Phalaenopsis you will get from the big box stores. This Phalaenopsis was actually a gift from one of my suppliers called Fernwood, and I was given it at the Orchid Expo, which was over a month ago now, and it is still looking so beautiful. I'm not sure how long it was open before the expo, but it is still looking absolutely fabulous, and it's been well over a month now. And I was also told that this orchid was more than 15 years old. I do know that some specific varieties will grow it larger than others just naturally, like these ones stay quite small. They stay around about this size. This one is absolutely stunning, and I cannot wait to rebloom it next year and see what kind of blooms it's going to give me, because this is just amazing. If I hold it next to me, you can see just how large the entire thing is. It is an absolute stunner. I always, when I first got into orchids, I really didn't like the plain white ones. I thought they were really boring, but now I've collected a lot of different colorful ones. I've finally started to appreciate the plain white orchid. That is all for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed part 1 of my Phalaenopsis orchid care series. If you did, please make sure to hit the thumbs up button down below. It only takes 2 seconds and it lets me know what kind of content you guys like to see. If you did enjoy this video and want to watch part 2, make sure to subscribe down below as well and click the notification bell so you get notified when we upload. Part 2 is going to be all about how to care for your Phalaenopsis orchid, where to put it when you bring it home, how to care for it while it's in bloom, what to do once the blooms fall off, how to repot your orchid, and how to get it to rebloom, which is the most important part. While you're here, I would love it if you took the chance to go over to our channel and check out the rest of our videos. Like I said, we make houseplant videos, houseplant tutorial videos, and behind the scenes of the small business videos, so we would love for you to go over and check those out as well. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in our next video. Bye!